All right, all right. What's going on? Welcome or welcome back to the Awareness Channel. My name is TC. So let me scoot up because I got to talk to y'all a bit. You know, y'all see I got my Jamaican hat on today because my thoughts right now are with the people in Jamaica. Because what's about to happen to them, I can only think about when Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans in 2005. Or, yeah, I can only think about that because that's a Category 5 hurricane about to pass right over the top of Jamaica. So I can only think that the worst is about to happen, and I can only do my little part to show my support and, let people know that they're in our thoughts. We wish only the best. Hope they come out on the other side okay. A lot of people ask me if I'm Jamaican, and I'm not. But back in 80, late 1980. Hell, before that actually, around 77, we had this little community center we used to go to. And I used to go up in there and play foosball. Used to like to play foosball. And we was good too. And I, just me now, would go and play these two songs on the jukebox. I didn't know what reggae music was. And so I played these two songs. And one of them was Waiting in Vain. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it was Bob Marley singing it, but somehow I just fell in love with that song and the rhythm. And I was like 19. I was younger than that, about 18. And I would play that song. Motherfucker had something wrong with me. But I don't know. And then from that, after the center, the place closed and I couldn't, I started listening to meaningful, old school R&B. My songs had to have a meaning. It had to be saying something to me. You know what I mean? It had to have a serious message in it. I liked Curtis Mayfield. I like some of Smokey Robinson stuff. I like Marvin Gaye stuff. I like Gil Scott-Heron. I like stuff like that. So my shit had to be like that. I like James Brown because he was funky, isn't he? And James Brown got a little political at times, but that's the kind of shit that I like. So then about 1980 rolled around. And the nigga was still searching for, something to ease my head, And I'd heard of somebody named Bob Marley, but I wasn't sure what it was. So me and my friend Vicky went to the store. And Vicky, she was a little, further ahead than me. But she knew what I wanted. She knew what kind of brother I was. Solitary. I was already doing drill team. I was kind of a loner. I was this goddamn, intellectual little musclehead ass nigga. And we went to that store and she pointed me at a Bob Marley album. And it was the Uprising album. And I took it home and I played the first track on the B-side, okay, of the Bob Marley album. And from that point, till now, I fell in love with all things Jamaican when it came to music. I wanted to hear that ska, I wanted to hear that rock steady, I wanted to hear that old school reggae. Some of the dance hall I ain't like, but some of it I did. But I'm stuck in that, and I started learning all about Rastafarian culture and all that. I never really adopted any religion, Rastafari including none of them. But I lean towards some, and I'm a lefty, so. But anyway, that's my Jamaican story. But right now they're going through it, and right now they're going through it. So our thoughts got to be with those people down there, and if anybody does pray in your own special way, like I do, that they come through it all right. So now, what I really wanted to also talk about was, God damn it, this morning on one of my feeds, this video came across about food stamps, SNAP benefits. And this dude had said that when November 1st comes around, it's going to be like a jungle and a riot in the grocery store. I listened to it. This is a white cat. Now, in the thumbnail, he had a bunch of chimpanzees and apes and some sort of imagery that, it just smacked the straight up racism. I'm like, how did this get here? So I clicked away from it. But it got me to thinking, man. Well, I already know how racist everybody, white folks is right now openly. So I understand that part. That's a sickness that they have. But let's get away from that part for a second. The part I want to talk about is this right here. I already know how sick and demented and racist white folks can be. The part I want to talk about is who is actually going to be hurt by those SNAP benefits being delayed. Because I think I'm really hoping that they come through for everybody, but who going to get hurt the most? Who benefits most from public assistance? That's what we used to call it back in the day. Public assistance, PA. They still calling it welfare. That just make it sound black when they say that. Who benefits most? White people do. In sheer numbers and per capita, white people do. I do know white women are minorities, and they entitled to minority benefits. And you do know that all of these poor-ass, red-ass states that voted for Donald Trump are filled with people who use SNAP benefits. The red states, they filled with people, snag-a-tooth rednecks and shit, that use motherfucking SNAP benefits. I was asked by a young man what I think about the food stamps being cut. This young man was one of the people that get serviced at my establishment. And he pushed, and he said, "Coach, what do you think about the SNAP benefits getting cut?" And I'm like, why are you asking me this? But now I know why he's asking me. But he's trying, and he got a little disability, so I understand, he has no filter. But he kept pushing. Now I know his mom, because she came to one of our meetings, when we was doing the showcase, and she's on disability. He's on disability. But he's got this thing to where he watches the news. And he thinks that, he is able to debate and everything. So he said, Coach, what do you think about it? I said, okay, look, you're going to tell, here's what I think. I think that they should not cut people's benefits. He said, yes, because they got money for bombs, and they got money for war, but they don't have money for stamps, Coach. And I'm like, okay, so he's been watching a little bit of the news. I said, yep, they got money for a lot of things, but they don't have money for things that people really need. I said, did you vote? He said, no, Coach. I said, did your mom vote? He said, yeah. I said, who did your mom vote for? He said, President Trump. But this is still crazy. I said, wait right there. I said, your mom knew that she was voting for these kinds of policies when she voted, just like a lot of other people did. And now that Trump is doing what he said he was going to do, it's hurting you. And so now you see what people have been trying to tell you about voting the wrong way. Identity politics, they call it. That dumb shit. Voting against your own best interests. And that's what his mom did. And now it's hurting him, and he's feeling some type of way because his benefits are in jeopardy. You see? The vast majority of benefits go to white folks. Everybody should know that shit by now. I mean, as easy as it is to find out some shit, everybody should know that shit by now. But everybody want to make black people the face of the goddamn SNAP benefits. They want to make black people the face of the SNAP benefits bullshit. Like black people gonna tear some shit up if they food stamps don't come through. They done found a couple of assholes making videos, and now they trying to run with it. Like that asshole in that video I talked about earlier. But we're not. We are not the faces of it. Just like you motherfuckers thought y'all was gonna force us into the bean field after y'all kicked out all the illegals. Thought we was gonna run away from our jobs, our black jobs, as teachers, firefighters, lawyers, doctors, coaches, bus drivers, customer service rep, whatever we do, because we do it all. Real estate agents, real estate brokers, business owners. We was going to step away from all that to go back into the motherfucking field. No, we're not doing that because we don't need to do that. We survive. We always have. We always will. Back in the 80s, was when we started telling people to take your food stamps and stick them up your ass. Yep. Black Americans, anyway. We're very resilient. But this food stamp thing, really, I don't think it's going to last that long because it's going to hurt the Republicans more than it hurts the Democrats. And those are the two parties fighting. Those are the two parties fighting. I personally think, though, here's what I really think. I think that it's enough to go around for every motherfucking body, plus a little bit more. I think we should have free health care in this country. I think we should have free goddamn college. I think that we should have goddamn reparations for slavery and Jim Crow. I think shit like that. That's what I think. Should people get their motherfucking food stamps? Yeah. People should, not only should people get food stamps, they should get a universal basic income to go with it. That's what I think. But I didn't tell him that. I'm telling y'all that. Y'all probably already know that about me by now, but you dig me? Just saying. But anyway, drop a comment. Let me know what y'all Thanks. Big shout out to Jamaica. Love y'all. TC, and I'm out. Peace. Oh, hit the subscribe button before you go. 1.